Okay. Hey, Paul, how are you?
Doing good, Douglas. How about yourself?
Doing fine, thank you. Thank you for coming on this show. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
So, you've written a book called Sunset Distortion, The Pyramid at the End of the World. Nice title. I really like the title.
Thank you very much.
Is this your first book?
Yeah, this is my first novel. I'd always wanted to write a full length novel, and after my last band broke up, I found myself with the time, but then still that creative drive to make something. So, kind of made the hop from playing bass to writing books.
Is the book about the band?
It is not. It is a novel about a man named Lazer. Lazer's in his mid 40s. He plays in a cover band on the Sunset Strip at a dive bar and living that glorious life of rock and roll inertia. And one day he gets abducted by aliens. So, maybe a little bit of a tangent off of the old rock and roll days, but yeah, not a biography.
Okay, tell me a little bit about your music career.
Well, I played in a rock band called Inverse during the 2000s. I was in bands in high school and in college, and this band called Inverse. We did a lot of touring, put some records out, did the whole thing. Kind of got into that mode where it's like, oh, we might make it, and then the band broke up, as it happens. And then I had a different band I started with my wife called The Infamous They, and then eventually that band fell apart as half the band moved out of state. And I started trying to put some other people together to, get another project going. And then I was just like, after like the fifth time my new drummer flaked on showing up, I said, you know what? I'm going to do something that doesn't require other people. So I had written a short story. Sunset Distortion was originally a short story I wrote in college. And then my friend and I turned to a comic book, and that never really went anywhere. So I was like, you know what? This thing needs to not just live on my computer. It needs to exist in the real world. And so I spent the next 5 years turning it into a full-fledged novel.
5 years. How many words is it?
Like 86K.
Okay, so you pretty much took your time writing that.
Oh, I rewrote it probably 10 times. I really enjoyed the process of writing and editing and kind of getting it perfect. I tried to approach it, even though it's a song about, or even though it's a book about a heavy metal guitar player, kind of approached it like writing a pop song where everything needs to be in its right place and nothing superfluous. So no linguistic version of a 10-minute long guitar solo. I tried to make it as tight as possible. Did I say it in 3 sentences? Let me see if I can say it in two. And so I, went through that whole process. It took me a couple of years kind of going through it and really tightening the story up. And plus, I run a business with my brother, and I have two kids at home. So between those two responsibilities, the sliver of time I have after everyone's asleep, that's when I write.
Okay, is this book self-published or did you get a publisher?
Self-published. I know a lot of people who, they say, "Oh no, you're gonna get rejected 100 times. You're gonna do this and this." And I said, I don't need to write books to pay the bills. I just want this thing to exist in the real world. And if it gets any traction, I guess let the publishers come to me.
Okay, how long has the book been out?
It came out in April. I put it out 3 weeks after my son was born. So I put it out to the world and then immediately went into newborn dad mode. And so I didn't really get to really try to put it out there that much. But now that my son's 6 months old, I'm like, okay, it's time to really go out there and try to get my book some recognition. So here I am.
What is your plan to do after this book? You're going to write another one?
I'm about 50,000 words into part two. It's going to be a 5-part series, kind of following Lazer on his intergalactic exploits. So this is just the beginning.
So this is
For
going to
better or
be
worse.
a series, you
Yes,
think?
it's a series.
Okay, well, a lot of publishers like series if you were going to go that route. They tend to want, 3 or 4 books at a time from
Hmm.
potential prospective authors. What kind of feedback have you been getting from the book?
People have loved it. I mean, uh, largely, at this point in time, it's just been people I know who read it, so maybe they're just being nice to me. But I've gotten a lot of really positive feedback, and even I did. send it out there to a couple of traditional publishers, and even the rejection letter I got was actually pretty kind, saying like, it's actually pretty funny, but it's not what we're looking for.
So you don't really have any interest to go with a traditional publisher?
Oh, I'd absolutely like to go through a traditional publisher. It's just, like I said, I run my own sustainability company with my brother, and then I have two small children at home. And, when I do get to write, it's wonderful. And I enjoy the process as much as I enjoy releasing the work. But it seems like it's a full-time job just trying to get yourself out there in front of publishers. And obviously right now in the era of coronavirus, not really a lot of conferences to go and meet new people. You know what I mean? It's if you're outside of the world of books, it's kind of hard to crack in. So I'm just going to keep doing my thing.
Well, it's since you've been in music, I mean, it's similar to indie artist versus signed to a label. I mean, I think that's the comparison, where the publisher would do more things for you. There's a certain level of validation that you get that somebody's willing to pay you. On the other hand, you do sort of lose control, where if you're self-published, you can do what you want.
I mean, I would happily go through a publisher. It's just a matter of, do I want to spend hours and hours and hours of time, sending out all of my my packets, or do I want to spend that time playing with my daughter? You know what I mean?
Did you do your own cover art, or did you get somebody to do that for you?
So my comic artist, a guy named Wesley Strother, did it. We had originally done an issue. This was going to be a comic book, and it didn't really pan out. It's a lot of work to do, and he just was too busy. So when it came time when I actually wrote the book, I said, "Dude, you're the one that has to do this. You have to make the cover. Can you do it?" He's like, "Absolutely." So I'm very pleased with it. I think I think he did a great job, and it really sums up kind of the vibe of the story pretty well in a single picture.
Anything else you want to add? Did we miss anything?
I don't know. You tell me, bud.
Well, what is your website? Do you have a website to give out?
So you can find me on Facebook under Paul Bahou Writes. I've got, I got a website. I just need to get put together, all in time. I'm a one-man show.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming on the show. It was nice talking to you. Best of luck with the book. I hope